Welcome back. We are here for part 2 of putting back in a receptacle or plug-in. Called a lot of things, but we pulled the first one out, went through that, and now we're set up to put the other in. And so as you can see, we have the wires hanging out here. There's our neutral, there's our hot, and there's our ground. And I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see. The number one thing from the first video, you remember me showing you how we use the little screwdriver to pop out the wire, and then the second one I showed you how you can just clip the wire off. And so obviously in doing that, now we need to restrip this wire where we cut it, because as you can see, we're just not quite long enough for it to go back into another plug. So you just get out your snippers. These are Milwaukee's. I really like them. But I'm sure anybody who knows, you can buy them as cheap as a couple dollars. It's Fred Meyer and those kind of places where they have them in little kits. And these things go all the way up to, I think I've seen some strippers for even, $50. So we will just go with that, and we're going to go ahead and strip this wire quick.
I'm not laughing.
And that should be good.
How do you know which one to use?
Well, it is actually marked on here. I don't know if you can see it. There's little numbers that say 14, 12.
Hard to see, but yeah.
Yes. This side might be easier, so I think it's painted.
Oh yeah, I can see.
Okay.
And so you just kind of
Whatever gauge
go by the
wire
gauge of the wire, and if you're not sure, it's just easier just to kind of start up a little ways and then squeeze it, and you'll be able to tell if it squeezes tight without cutting it. Just don't give it a lot of force, and then as soon as you can actually close it and then pull a little bit, then it should just come off.
On the right one.
And if it's right, if you're squeezing a little bit, you don't feel like it's quite coming off, then try going down another one and getting the bigger until you get down.
Start on the bigger ones down
here. Start on these ones.
The smaller ones?
Yep. And work your way down. Just kind of feel it, kind of get an idea of what it is. Now the other nice part is,
I would think you would go bigger and then go down.
Well, then you don't know if you're touching or not, and it takes. I always go the other way, but another thing you can do is you can go to your ground, and you can see which one fits in the hole.
Oh, so the ground wire is the same size?
Right. It's always going to be the same size as the rest of the wires.
Perfect.
And it has no coating on it, so you can put it in there anywhere. So that is a way to do that. Okay. All right. Now this is a plug where it's one of the only ones that I've seen that you can put the wire in and tighten the side that I actually will use, because it's all metal and the screws here, it actually gets a really good bite. Now on the cheap ones, which I only have a switch here to show you, or actually no, I can show you probably on the old one. Yeah, this old one has it. So these little holes here, and you stick the wire in. The problem is the only thing touching when you push that in is basically a blade, no thinner or no thicker than say the tip of a razor knife. So it slides in, and yeah, it locks it in really good. It doesn't pull out, but there's not a whole lot of that metal touching the wire, so it gets corroded really easy, and it gets to where all of a sudden it starts intermittently cutting out and not working quite right. So as most people, as electricians say, and yeah, here's another one. This is even a newer one, and these are the holes they would put it in. Same thing, there's a little slot down there. You put a little screwdriver in and it releases it. But as most professional electricians and stuff say, this is the lazy man's way of doing it. That you should always roll your wire and wrap it around the screw and tighten it down. Because it's metal on metal. Yep, act like the hole's not even there. With the exception of these, and these ones are a little more expensive, so a lot of people don't like to buy them. But again, like I said, you put it right in here, but it's between metal all the way around. It's not a blade holding it. The screw actually tightens down and holds it. So with that, this, now you get the right size here. So this one, the hardest part is to make sure that you get, because there's a flange in there, and now it's down, so it leaves that hole quite open. And so we've seen that. Actually, something else I'm just going to say real quick, because it says it on here on every one, but it's hard to read. The thing to remember is silver. You're going to notice it's silver on the left side, and it's brass, or kind of the brass goldish look, on the right side. The chrome side, or silver side, whichever you want to say it, is always your neutral wire. So that's where your neutral wire is going to go. And then your hot line is always going to go to the goldish or brass looking screws. And as we talked about in the video before, your white wire is always your neutral wire. So white and chrome go together, or white and silver. And black is your hot wire. So black and chrome, or black and copper, or copper, gold color, always go together. So that's something that, and that's where, if you back those up, where that that tester is going to show you if it's correct. And now, if you were to put it opposite from what I just said, that's going to tell you, oh, you're not hooked up properly.
So that would be on a different video, and can you show them which one would show them that?
Any of these, any of the plug-in ones, and you can, that's where I was talking about on here. You can see it even says, well, I can't see it because it says correct, but then below it, it says, should say neutral reversed or something like that.
Okay, and is there another one that
there's
you
the
can
black
show
one,
them?
has the same, I don't know where it's at, where it went.
I see yellow. I see a black one here.
There it is. So yeah, and then there's the black one, which is,
So
oh yeah, okay, so this one says open neutral. And that basically means that the neutral is not hooked up, or is in the wrong side. Open hot, saying the same thing. They're backwards. And I'm sorry, but we got to bolt back on that. The open means they're not hooked up, period. Like maybe it came loose in the wall, it's not hooked up to the plug. So it could be when you pushed it back in, maybe it popped out. And so it's just hanging in there, so you got to pull it out, hook it up. The last two are the ones, or last, what is it? You got correct at the bottom. This one's different than the other one.
Hot, neutral, reverse.
But yep, hot, neutral, reverse, and hot and ground reverse. So this is going to tell you which ones these are.
Yeah, hot,
and what
reverse,
to take care of.
Hot, neutral, reverse, and connect.
Yep, and then open ground at the top, which means that the ground didn't get hooked up.
And there's open neutral on the top and open hot.
Yes. So do that, and have you stand there a little bit next to me, because we're going to put. So here's your silver. So the silver, and it doesn't matter which, there's no right or wrong order to hook these up. As long as they all get hooked up in the right place. So we're gonna put that. And getting them really as tight as you can is probably one of the most important things. Because if they're loose in any way, they'll start arcing, and then they'll burn it out, and then pretty soon you're back to a problem again with your plug. So same thing here. Other thing that I like to do, and I have seen people do it or not do it, but it's kind of a thing that I like to do is always make sure that if the screw turns clockwise, which we know it does, to make sure my loop is clockwise. And that just means that as I'm screwing it down, it's actually pulling that screw tighter instead of pushing it out. And so now I've got that. And then on this
Can you
side,
turn it that way again? I'm just gonna get it kind of close up. Thanks. Hold on. Perfect.
so then we come over to the other side and twist it because we want.
Which color is that side, Elijah?
I can see, like brownish, not
Kind of a
gold.
brass gold color.
Yeah.
So which wire's going in that
The
one?
one that he's holding.
Is that a hot or a
Hot.
neutral? Yep.
Good job.
Fast learner. Hold on.
Okay, now this one, because it came out of another plug, is a little longer. And another one of my things is I like to at least have the plastic all the way down here, so that if something should touch back here, it doesn't arc it. So I just clip off, enough to, and then try it again. I like a little more. You'll find different companies will make them different and give you some that need more than the others. So by doing and just checking and taking your time. And that's the other thing that I'd like to say is in doing this stuff, taking your time is probably one of the most important things. Don't get in a hurry because you're going to get hurt, or somebody else is going to get hurt when they come along and they go to plug something in and it's wrong. So they end up getting, electrocuted or, and just making sure that, as you go, everything is hooked up the right way. And that's interesting. Okay, well, this was a good example. Now, this is a brand new receptacle. For some reason, this screw where it goes into the actual threaded part is stripped out. So it's not wanting to tighten down. But the good news is, as I said in the beginning, this one only has one set of wires coming in. And it does not matter any way, shape, or form whether this one's on the top and this one's on the bottom or vice versa. When you only have one set of wires come in, it's going to give power no matter what to the entire thing. And that's because of this little loop here. So it makes sure that it gets power on both sides. So let's try this and see if this one's got a little bit better bite. Oh yeah, I can feel the difference. This one's...
So just a lemon.
Yep, just one that probably, I've been told that these receptacles go through so many, where they'll run like 500 of them, and then one will go on where they'll actually have a machine that runs the screws in and out, and to make sure that everything is working properly. And it probably went through one of those or something, and the machine accidentally stripped it, but it still passed somehow and got through. And, you buy enough of them, you're bound to find something.
That was good that happened then.
Yeah, that was good timing. I mean, good way to see that. And then, because it's always nice to know too, because I didn't know, and I had to ask my teacher about, if I have one on the bottom and one on the top. And it wasn't because of something like this. I just accidentally, again, was just trying to hurry through the room, and I had crossed them like that. But he never said anything. So I went back to him and I asked him, and he says, no, he says, you're going to get power no matter what. As long as, now if you had 4 wires, obviously this would have to work. We'd have to throw this one away. But because these ones are tight, we're good. So then the next step, obviously, just to get it back into the hole. Now, one of the ones that always seems to be a pain is the ground wire. So you always want to check and make sure it's pushed down and all the way into the box, because I've actually had one, it folded right up and then it laid right against the neutral. And every time the power would come on, it would just go back off. And so you want to kind of check and make sure that your ground is laying down where it's not going to do that. And
you were saying if there was 4 wires, meaning 2 neutral and 2 hot, that would mean that it was running to another room,
right, to another,
coming into this. But this is the end of the run for this,
for that particular
wire,
line. Yep, correct.
This line.
Yep.
And you said that in the first video.
Yes. Which honestly is a good thing to know. So if you own your home and you're doing this and you come and you realize that that's the end of a line, I would make a note of that somewhere in your house book or whatever you may have to do things with your house, because there may come a time when you decide, hey, I want to change my electrical panel and I want to move the line going around the house, but you need to know where this line starts and where it stops, so you know where you can feed another line and change it out. So good things to just kind of remember and put in there, and for future knowledge. So some of these plugins I've had kicking around for a while, and a lot of times if you have one kicking around for a long time, the little tiny cardboard sheeting thing here like this one's actually plastic because it's off a newer one, but they end up breaking off. I mean, because they just come off like that. I mean, it's next to nothing. So then you end up, the screws are gone. So now, fortunately, chances are, in your case, if you're just doing this for the first time or second time even, you're going to go buy the plug-in when you're doing it. You're not going to have a box of them stocked up somewhere. And so yours are going to still have all the screws. This is just from years of packing extra tool or extra things around with me and having.
So you just broke that off? Yeah,
because it's all it's there for is when you're not using the plug to hold this screw in so it doesn't get lost between the time that you buy it at the store and get it home to put it in. Once it's in the wall like here, that means absolutely nothing.
So there's an actual bracket that it goes into with a hole specifically for that. And those are the receptacle boxes, right?
Yep. And as you can see, let's look at this one.
Is it a metal
and
box?
as Sherry just said, nope, this one's a composite box made of composite plastic. They do make all plastic boxes. They make metal boxes.
Doesn't matter which one you use.
It doesn't. I like the plastic. The plastic is very reasonable to buy, but it's also going to last a long time, and they use recycled plastic to make them. So you're also using something. So as Sherry just said, this is that little groove where it goes through. And as you can see on this receptacle, the drywallers didn't do a really great job up here. They didn't even bring it down far enough for this to hit on. But the good news with that is you can run it in a little bit, put your cover on. The cover's going to hold everything tight, and it's going to work out. Me, because of this even over here, I'm going to try and push this over and try and even out my hole. Get this.
And how tight do you want it?
I want it just tight enough it's holding, because if you go too tight, this will start bending and it'll push in.
So not like you did with the wires.
Right, yeah, this is just a nice gentle touch. And now up here I have a cover. this. So then you have your cover, and of course it's a smaller cover. They put one on, and we'll probably need a bigger cover, which I have some, but not here. So
That will cover all that.
Yep.
The
Yeah.
wall.
Yeah. It's like, I think, I'm pretty sure you can see the difference in this one. And these are called oversize, and they make all different. They make mid-size, they make smaller ones and bigger ones, and so
Good to know. I didn't know
and
that.
for some reason,
Just a teeny tiny bit
yeah,
bigger,
this
maybe.
doesn't even want to fit on.
Yeah, just a teeny tiny
That's
bit
weird.
bigger.
That is weird.
I don't know.
Yeah, so this one, the whole cover, maybe this cover's defective. That's just the way it goes sometimes, right when you're trying to show people. Or maybe it's because the screw is still out. That's what I should have looked at.
Yeah, that's actually what to say.
Right? That was done on purpose, right?
That's right. Just testing to see if people are paying attention. And obviously I'm not. Yep, still.
I'll just put it on the way at this spot.
It still seems like there's just a gap.
It's the way the wall is.
Yeah. There's a little screw up there that was the
For that one?
white screw. Yeah, I had it up underneath the cover.
And a flathead.
Yeah, just that little one is
I don't know where you had it.
right here. So this one is I normally. Yeah.
And these, you don't want to do really tight.
Yes, unless you get the non-breakable ones, because they will snap easy. So this one, yeah, it's just, obviously it's defective, but I know I have more. I'll just have to bring one tomorrow and put it in. But that gives you the
Needs a
idea. I
bigger
mean, now
one
the cover's
anyways.
on, and yeah, and I'll get one of the larger. And then one thing else is kind of nice, like with these, is you can also plug these in, and you can use them to kind of move things over and give you a little, because normally when and I wasn't even going to bother showing it because it's just kind of my OCD, but I have a torpedo level in my bag, and I will put that right here, or alongside the plug-in before I put the cover on, and make sure that the receptacle's straight up and down before I put the cover on. And that way, you know, it looks nice and straight to anybody who sees it.
All right, so are we going to turn on the...
Yep. So if someone wants to just...
Okay. The what?
This one in. Grab by that in. Just plug it right. Do the bottom one since the other one's kind
So,
of...
breaker's on. What's it show?
Okay.
We
What's it
did
say?
something.
And it's right.
Look, we got our red lights on the end.
Perfect.
It shows that it's done right. Go ahead and take it out. All right, so Isaiah's going to show you quick how the red one works, and so we can see that it's working good. So he's going to plug it in for us. Again, we got two lights, so...
And what would you do with the button on that one? Nothing?
Yeah, on this one it does
Because
nothing.
you can't-
There's
it
no
doesn't have the
GFI or
GFI.
anything. So that's why, you know, if you're not going to be doing GFIs and stuff, this one's quite a bit cheaper for just doing the standard plugs. And it's, you know, a good one to grab. It costs nothing. These ones do go up a little bit because of the little breaker in it.
Any others
And-
you want to show?
That one's just for GFI too. Isaiah can plug it in just so you can kind of see it lit up. But this one is more for GFI also. So, like I said, now it's telling me everything's correct. You got the two blue or green lights, and you got the little whistle saying, "Hoo-hoo, you did good." So, I think that's it.
Now I'm doing it.
All right, so the other thing that I was just, the last tester that I showed you, one that just lights up and everything, and now that we have power,
Can I do it?
and that's what I was talking about, it just turns red and starts beeping as soon as I get it towards the power. And Elijah's going to plug in the shot vac for us.
This?
Yep.
I know. Okay.
And then just to show quick on the wire how it's showing, so now you can see it's got power going through it. So that's going to tell you. So it makes it kind of nice. Say you can't get behind a refrigerator or something, but you can get a hold of the cord, and it makes it just easy to go, okay, I'm not, I'm getting power, I'm not getting power through the cord. And it helps just troubleshoot your way through some of the problems. Well, I want to say we thank you for joining us. We hope this helped. We've all enjoyed doing it and being together and able here to be able to share this with you. So thank you. And we'll keep trying to get more videos out for things to help people walk through. We thank you for watching, and we hope this helps you. That's our ultimate goal, is to make videos that can help people and help get their problems solved at home without having to spend a fortune through someone like me that you'd have to call to get done. If we can help you get it done, it's even better. We can all put our money in better places. So we thank you for watching, and we hope to talk to you soon. Bye. Bye.